Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. I am Miss Mavish Ramzan and I welcome you all to Happy Home Online class. I hope you all are doing well and you are taking care of yourself and your family. The topic for our art class today is landscape. I hope you all know what is a landscape. A landscape is a part of Earth's surface that may be its landforms and how they are co-generated to its natural and man-made features. When we are painting a landscape, it means we can paint the following or we can capture the following things, following locations in our paintings, which can be mountains, waterfalls, coasts, fields, and so on. With these scenes, you can arrange the elements in a form of a composition. And these may or may not include man-made structures as well as people and animals. It's not all about that it should be only this. We can add, when we click a picture, we can see some man-made objects there or some people or some animals around. So this is how we paint. Now I'll give you some tips for landscape paintings. The very first is, do not put everything in. Look into these pictures which I've allotted here. You can see that there are less things and it is more simplified. It means you are not required to include everything that you see in the landscape. Keep it simple because it is there in real life. Be selective, include the strong elements that describes that particular location. Use a reference to study. If you're using the original photographic reference, that's okay. But if you're using a painting reference, do not exactly copy. The next one is use your imagination. Don't hesitate to arrange the elements in the landscape to create a stronger composition. Like in these, first of all, when you use your imagination, you have to see that how you are going to put on your paper. It can be a square size of paper, it can be rectangular in a form of vertical or horizontal. And then you put different things from different landscapes, or you may take one landscape picture and you assemble it on your paper. You may assemble or you may put on different things from different landscapes too by using your imagination, but keep the first point in mind that you are not going to put everything in. The next thing is, give the foreground preference. Don't paint the whole landscape to the same degree of detail. Paint less details in the background than the foreground. The difference in detail also helps to draw the viewer's eye into the main focus of the landscape painting. When you are looking into this picture, can you see that the background is less detailed rather than the foreground, which is the land part, and the background it's a little more simplified, which is the cloud or skies part. And when you are looking forward to this point, this is also called as perspective. The very next point is perspective or creating depth on your paper. When you create such kind of a perspective, it is called an atmospheric perspective or aerial perspective. When we talk about perspective, look into the picture at your very left hand side. It shows the aerial perspective in which you can see the foreground, middle ground and the background. The foreground is dark in color and the middle ground it becomes a little lighter in color and the background is more lighter and blurred. This is basically the basic recipe of aerial perspective. Foreground looks normal, middle ground it becomes a little lighter in tone and a little blurred, but the background it goes much lighter and much more blurred. When we come up to this right hand side picture, there are some man-made objects in this picture, the top one. And this is also an aerial perspective. The other one at the bottom, it shows 1 point perspective in this picture. It's not aerial perspective, it's 1 point perspective. When we talk about perspective, it's that as the objects, they go far away, they become lighter in color, they are less details, they have less contrast, and they have soft edges. Now coming up to the other point, you depict seasons while painting a landscape. It influences the colors in the landscape as well as time of the day. Both these pictures are the same sea, but look at the different colors. You can't change the weather, but you can decide what it will be in your painting. Now, don't paint elements of nature, paint the forces of nature in action. Look into the background picture. A landscape is a collection of events in space, time, revealed by light. So no need to get focused that it should be more detailed. Keep it simplified and try to paint nature. Keep yourself calm. Create a sense of passage through one or more areas of the painting. Do not only make the eyes travel. Let the viewer to experience being there or reveal their own memory of a similar place. Your assignment is you need to study the work of an emerging Pakistani watercolorist, Arif Ansari, and draw a cultural landscape of our homeland, Pakistan. Now you will be looking into some of the artists and their work of Pakistan and how do they work. Before you are going to the artist's work, you have to see that how they use the landscape as their subject matter. Let's explore into creating landscape. Before that, keep these few points in your mind. How do artists see the natural landscape? The other one is, how do they convey what they see onto the canvas? The last one is, what do you notice about each of these artists' representation of the landscape? This is first artist, who was Mr. Ajab Khan. He was very famous amongst the people who used to paint landscapes, and he used to paint cultural landscapes of Pakistan. Ghulam Rasool, more simplified, detailed, and nice kind of a work. Again, I'm reminding you that these are all our Pakistani artists and their cultural landscape work. Zulfikar Ali Zulfi, one of the very finest artists working for landscapes. Ghulam Mustafa, Khalid Iqbal, Arif Ansari. He's a watercolorist, and you can see his work, how he used watercolors creating landscapes. Shehzad Khalil, he is one of the emerging landscape artists. Then here I am on the workstation, and I have done my drawing in details, and I will be telling you that how you are going to do your watercolors. First of all, here I'm explaining the kind of landscape I've drawn is with some of the trees in the foreground, some of the trees in the middle ground, and the area of the background will be a wide space. When I started painting, I'm adding these colors. Keep in mind, you are not going to use a lot of water which you cannot control. Try painting some simple layers. It's not all about when we paint, we apply layer after layer to make up details. It's a little more detailed work, but I want you to do it in a way that it feels simple to you, according to your level and according to your requirement. But here I'm just explaining that how you are going to do it through layers, because Sometimes we put on one layer and if we forgot to give another way or another kind of details, and we think our work is complete. Keep adding dark and lights. Here in the background, this is eventually a middle ground which I'm painting. Adding darks behind these trees, it means I'm giving depth to my picture, and the details will be more visible of these trees which are in the middle ground. This picture is in one point perspective, which is going towards the left. Now I started working in the foreground area. Try keeping it simple for yourself, children, and do it as much as you can. Do not create difficulties for yourself. Take some natural references and original references and do your work. And this is, now you can see this how it is complete, and you can create a watercolor landscape. I'm again repeating, you have to keep it simple for yourself. Thank you. Thank you for being with me. And if there are any questions, you can find me at Google Classroom and I'll feel very nice answering your queries. Thank you so much and have a good day. Allah Hafiz.